for years, and I hung out with a lot of these guys. But then like,
then the mortgage crisis happened.
Then the crisis happened, and then shit started hitting the fan. I'll never forget, dude, because it was like
it's a wild time.
Well, it was like basically they always say like you got to cut the fucking head off the snake or whatever, however the saying goes. So it was like the big dog went down, and you're like, oh fuck, like the boss, like dude,
like got arrested or?
Oh yeah, dude, feds would come in, fucking take all the computers. So bro,
wait, what else was going on here then?
Oh dude, there was a lot of fucking crime that occurred.
Well, we know this about the financial crisis, but you don't hear much about guys who ever got arrested because they didn't charge a lot of people. They charged man. I think they charged. They didn't even charge the countrywide guy Mazzillo, did they? I have to look that up.
It probably all depends on like. There's a lot that goes into these things, but like,
was he doing like appraisal?
I know those guys went down too. I was involved. I was cooking for all of the real estate guys. So like, I had friends who were appraisers, who all went down. So like my buddy Paul would always be like, Jamie, that you just got to like help me. Like, the chili, it's just too spicy. It's just too spicy. And I'm like, Paul, just fucking man up, dude. It's chili. Like, deal with it, right? And then like, I used to give Paul meals, like 10 meals a week, every week. Paul was like one of my guys. And then one day Paul just stopped answering the fucking phone. And I thought, fuck. He's finally had enough. The chili's too spicy. I'm like, fuck. I should have listened to him,
Paul's in a jail cell.
Dude, months go by. I get this call from this number like, yo, do you see Paul? I'm like, yeah. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I was with Paul this morning. He's like, Hockey Paul? I'm like, no, Paul Kushner. I'm like, I haven't seen Hockey Paul because it was like Hockey Paul. So I haven't seen Hockey Paul in a while. He goes, dude, he got picked up. I'm like, fuck. He goes, yeah, dude, he's locked up. I'm like, shit. He's like,
what were they? So they were doing like fraud on appraisals and stuff like that, I guess?
Yeah, bro, you go to a fucking house in Newark. Yeah. That's decrepit, and you give it a $600,000 value. You're going to fucking jail.
This was literally in The Sopranos.
You do that fucking 14,000 times, you're going to fucking jail. So basically, dude, one of my mentors was this guy Dave, and he was basically, I feel bad. He should have never have done this, but like. He was basically what he was doing was he was like, say you take a mortgage out on this house. Well, like he would go and issue the mortgage to multiple banks. So you would get your mortgage, say for like 600,000, and then he would take 600,000 like 2 or 3 more times and use your mortgage, and like
right.
Because once the fucking shit happened, he thought, oh well, I can adjust, I can make it up here, I could pay it back, no one's gonna know. The problem is once the ground collapsed. There was no way to pay it back, and then that's when like
numbers don't add up.
And like, look, he should never have done that. Should have never have done it, and whatever his intentions were of paying it back, should never have done that. We'll never know. We'll never know. He did a good amount of time. But then, dude, I'll never forget, bro. I'm like, and basically what would happen is like, so like Dave went down, and then like all those lieutenants moved on, and then like opened a new bank. And then like went down the street.
That's nice.
And then like those guys would go down and they'd open up. So like, and then I was just like driving my fucking Nissan Maxima around following all these guys with meals. And I'll never forget. I like roll up to this office, and there's like this old timer, 3-piece suit, smoking a cigarette. And like the punchlines that these fucking guys always got me with were just so great, right? So this old dude's like, hey kid, yeah? He's like, you selling meals? I'm like, yeah. Not today, you're not. I'm like, what? He goes, feds came, took all the computers. Look, bro, you look at the door, there's this fucking giant lock on the door. And I'm just like, fuck.
Another one.
God damn it. Like, and yeah, I mean, it was almost like a gangster movie where like, you got to see the rise and the fall. And yeah, the fall, you know, it was funny too, because people were like, dude, listen, bro. They're like, we're going to get you in these multi-homes in Newark. They're like, you put no money down. You just got to pay the $1,200 a month. And I'm like, wow, fuck. Like, I'm 19. I'm like, yeah, man, I could be like a real estate owner. And my dad's like, what are you, fucking stupid? He's like, that's a fucking balloon rate. Like, in 2 years, he's like, stop. He's like, just fucking stop. He's like, you're not buying. And like, dude, all these guys that were doing this with the fucking adjustable rates, it's like, thank you, God, for not letting me do any of that. But
so many people got caught in that.
Destroyed.
Man.
But
awful.
Bro, they say there's like this financial fuck. You know what, dude? Like, people go on podcasts are so articulate, unlike me, this Jersey motherfucker.
Oh, you're doing great. But I'm enjoying this.
They say that like you can get the financial climate off like strippers. And like someone predicted the mortgage collapse based off like the real estate that strippers owned. And I mean, the writing was on the wall.
Real estate.
I mean, dude, people were getting, dude, there was no docs. There was no doc mortgages. You didn't have to show income. You could have got a fucking mortgage and had no job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, that's what was happening. And then you had like, there is a reason that all these guys went to jail.
There's this guy, Dillian, who was a legendary Wall Street trader, unrelated to the mortgage stuff, back in the 2000s. When everything crashed, he was at Lehman Brothers, which was one of the banks that failed. He left, and he continued writing a newsletter that he had written on Wall Street, and he would send it to everyone in the morning, and he made that his career. So he's like this brilliant behavioral finance guy. So he's like emotionless and just looks at what's everyone doing and why are they doing it, and what does that say about where I need to put my money. And he has this theory called the seafood tower theory, where he says if you go into New York City, go into any decent restaurant, and you start seeing a bunch of fucking seafood towers on the table, sell everything. Yeah. Because seafood towers are this like gluttonous show of wealth. They're, you know, six stories tall, but you pay $500-600 for it, and it's really about $85 worth of seafood. So people, when they're feeling complacent and feeling like they could just toss around money, they're buying seafood towers. So if you see a lot, that's it. But the stripper one, that's my new favorite.
Yeah.
So that's fucking great.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love seafood towers.
They are good.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
I haven't had them in a while, I guess.
Yeah. I dated a girl one time who had a lot of money, and she would get seafood towers at restaurants, and I did enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, the oysters. I always sub out the clams for oysters.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.